Hello guys, and welcome to another quick tutorial from Vintage Radar. Today I'm going to show you how to set the time and date on your Seiko Chronograph watch. For today's model we have this very beautiful vintage Seiko SQ50, and as you can see we have a date complication, so the date window is going to be positioned at 3 o'clock. In order to safely and correctly set the time and date, we are going to follow three principles, so 3 steps in order to do this correctly. Now the first step is going to be to set the time at 6:30, and we are going to do that because usually the date wheel, so the wheel that engages in order to change the date, is going to engage between 9 and 12 o'clock, or between 12 and 3 o'clock, or even between 9 and 3 o'clock in case you have a day-date complication. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I pull the crown to the last position in order to set the time, since I am PM, you'll be able to see that between 9 and 12 o'clock, so in our case right between 10 and 12, it is going to start rotating, and as you can see now the date is engaged. So if I were to change the date while the date wheel is already engaged, it is already changing the date, there is a big chance that you can actually break the wheel, so damage your watch, and your date isn't going to work anymore. This is going to apply to both quartz and mechanical watches. As I go past 12 o'clock, you will see that the date changed. And as I mentioned, if you have a day-date complication, so if you also have the day of the week, it is going to usually change between 12 and 3 o'clock. So in order to avoid damaging the date wheel, what we want to do is to first set the time at 6:30, and this is going to apply to both quartz and mechanical watches. As you can see, both of our watch hands are in the lower part of the dial, and this is going to be considered a safe zone. So the danger zone is going to be between 9 and 3 o'clock, and that is where you don't want your watch hands to be when you are changing the date. Now the second principle, so the next step that we are going to follow, is to first set the date 1 day prior to our actual end goal. So let's presume that I want to make it the 15th of the month. I'm going to make it the 14th, and then I'm going to go with the watch hands manually past 12 o'clock in order to set the time. That is going to be our third step. So I'm going to push the crown all the way back in, and now I'm going to pull it to the first position. And here I'm going to change the date, and I'm going to leave it at the 14th. And that is because, as I mentioned, my end goal is to make it the 15th. So I'm going to set the date 1 day prior to our actual end goal. And the last step, the third step, is going to be to set the time. And I'm going to pull the crown to the last position. And now I'm going to rotate the watch hands in a clockwise direction. As you can see, I'm going to go past 12 o'clock. The date did not change because I was AM and now I am PM. And when I go once again past 12 o'clock, I am going to arrive on my desired date. So as you can see, the date changed and it is now the 15th, and I'm going to make it, let's say, 3 a.m. so 3 in the morning. In case you want to make it PM, I'm going to go past 12 o'clock once again, and you will be able to see that the date is not going to change, so it is still going to be my desired date, the 15th, and now I can make it 4 p.m. so 4 in the afternoon. And that is why we do not want to miss the second step, to set the date 1 day prior and then arrive manually on our desired date by going with the watch hands past 12 o'clock until the date changes. So now I have the correct date, and now I also know that I am 4 p.m. and I'm going to push the crown all the way back in order to finalize the process, and that is how you correctly set the time and date on your Seiko Chronograph watch. This is going to be a vintage model, but this tutorial will apply to modern chronograph watches, to modern, let's say, Seiko or other watch brands out there that feature the date complication, and you can apply this tutorial to even mechanical watches in order to not damage the date wheel. In case you have a regular quartz watch or a mechanical watch, even with the date complication, I'm going to leave links in the description box below because I have full tutorials for all of these watches, so all of these variations. If you would like to check out the full guide with all the functions and features of a vintage Seiko Chronograph alarm watch, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below, because you have a ton of features, and also you need to align the chronograph, set the alarm, see whether the alarm is on or off, so you have a bunch of features, and I'm going to leave a link in the description box below to this full tutorial as well. If you enjoyed this video, guys, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, it really means a lot. And also, if you would like to purchase your first vintage watch, make sure to check out our website vintageradar.com, because we have thousands of vintage watches for sale, link in the description box below. We also have this very beautiful Seiko SQ50 for sale. Once again, check the website, link in the description box below. Thank you guys for watching, do not forget to subscribe, and I'm going to see you on the next video.